Good evening, televiewers. You're welcome to Prime Hour on My Media Prime. Many destinies have been crushed, destroyed and buried because carriers failed to identify and know their true value and call in lives. They got carried by distractions and today are blaming many persons and quarters for their failures. In this edition of the program, we are going to be looking at what you must give up if you want to be a success in life. You want to stand out and be celebrated amongst those who are impacting their world. There are lots and lots of things that you need to give up so that you meet your targets and goals. We are discussing this with our permanent panelists for Friday editions on Prime Hour, who are Miss L. They call her Lonarica. Get to see. We're glad to have you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leo, and thank you for pronouncing my name well today. Hello to everybody. I'm so happy to be here today, and it's quite an interesting topic because all of us have passed through this particular road of avoiding and staying away from things to be where we are today. And I pray that you stay tuned and you also give your contribution. So at the end of the day, someone who is still in that yoke can be able to free themselves from it.
Okay. We're also in the company of Neba Paul. He is an ambassador of the audacity of success now.
Yeah.
Yes, we're glad to have you.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening, televiewers. It's another Friday, and we are discussing a topic that concerns us all. I give a special shout out to the pastor of Living Testimony Living World Tabernacle, from where we are just speaking now. Whom he invited us after viewing us on this platform. I think, Mr. Leo, you are doing so well, and we have impacted his Christians today. And he said he's going to be watching us assembled with the Christians.
Okay. The Christians who are watching us, if you are inspired.
Apostle Ray now.
Apostle Ray.
Yeah.
Okay, Apostle Ray, I hope next week you will join us here.
Sure.
So that you will not only impact your Christians, but the world as a whole. But we are talking about what it is going to take to succeed in life. It is not everything that we have to carry along when we are going on a long journey. If you know where you are going, you would size the baggage that you are carrying along. Do you carry the entire house going for a long journey? That is what we are discussing this evening with our panelists tonight. It starts with knowing who you are and what your call is.
Of course, Mr. Leo, it starts with knowing who you are. Knowing who you are is the fuel you need to get to that point where you even start thinking of staying away from some things. So it's all about discovering what you have in the inside of you, talking to the person within. When you get to find out who you are in the inside of you, it gives you a sense of focus and direction. It comes with the propelling force to want to keep pushing. It's a fuel. It's like how when you start up a car and you put the fuel in the car, that's what gives it the move for it to go ahead, to accelerate. So this topic we're talking about today starts from you listening to us right now, discovering yourself and knowing where you want to go to. Because a man without vision will get lost on the way. A man without vision will get confused. A man without vision will get distracted. And it's these distractions we are talking about. And it's not like people don't get distracted. It's not like those who have visions don't get distracted. Yes, the distraction comes, but immediately the consciousness of where you're going to comes back to your mind. You discover that instantly you can be able to redirect your steps. So that is why we say it starts from you knowing who you are. Because knowing who you are is what gives the vision, and the vision is where you are going to. And that is the push that everybody needs.
Actually, I've noticed that many persons actually don't know their worth, who they are, and where they are going. For example, a Muslim knows that I am a Muslim because I'm a Muslim, and there is a pattern that I need to follow to get to salvation. A Christian has a manual, which is a Bible, that actually directs them towards where they are going. A Buddhist also. But seemingly we don't know who we are, so we are carried. The Bible says we are carried by the wind, not knowing where we are going.
Yes, that's quite true, Mr. Leo. You know, you grow up knowing that you're a Christian because you saw your parents, believing to that particular religion. You grow up being a Muslim because your entourage, your parents, they made you to understand that that's where you're supposed to belong. You understand? And just as anything that we do in life, we have to pick it from the environment, and then it shapes our destinies. But deep down in us, we are not born empty. That's one thing that we should understand. Everybody is born loaded. But the bad thing is that we tiptoe through life, as a Star Daddy will always say. We tiptoe through life to the grave, and we don't empty ourselves to life. That's why the richest place in the world happens to be the grave, because there you have stories that were never told, books that were never written, inventions that were never brought to limelight. Why? Because we do not see us as people who have something loaded in them that we are supposed to give to life. You understand? We are all born unique. One speaker said one time that imagine if Michael Jackson was playing basketball and Michael Jordan was to be a dancer. There will be a crash somewhere. Wasted destiny. But now, since they focus on what they were gifted in, they became the top in the world. I think Michael Jackson died some years ago, but he is still on top. Yeah. Because he delivered himself to the world where he was uniquely gifted. Michael Jordan the same, where he was uniquely gifted. That is the part that most of us should take, but the truth is that our environments don't give us that opportunity, that exposure to be able to identify our uniqueness and expose it to life. You know, as I usually say, growing up, in my classmates used to say I speak a lot, you know, I speak like a woman and stuff like that. It made me to be very timid. Nobody told me that, okay, guy, you could be a good journalist, you could be a good teacher, a good pastor. I mean, why not a good lawyer? Because those people, they do speak for money. So somehow it made me very timid. But in the course of life, somehow by grace, I find my way, and I now speak today for money. So for us to be able to find our destinies, our environment contributes a lot, because nobody is born with no child is born bad. But now growing up, whether by design or by consciousness, our environment tends to start, polluting us in one way or the other, and then start to shape us.
I want us to actually situate. Many persons are watching us this evening, and almost everybody may be complaining that they are not successful.
Yes, true.
And they think that those to impact the world are a special breed. And they think that they don't have a call to fulfill destiny. But just to let everybody who is watching us know that they all have a call.
Of course.
Those who are impacting the world is because they identified their call and worked according to the call. They identify their area of dominion or of operation and concentrated in that, and then today and now the voices impacting their world. So almost everybody just need to identify where they have been called to, which is the problem. Many persons don't know that they are called to fulfilling specific assignments.
Yes, of course, Mr. Leo. Nobody was created empty. Everybody that God created came with a divine uniqueness, like what Mr. Paul said. There's a uniqueness, something that differentiates me from Mr. Paul. The both of us are seated right here talking, but trust me, if we have to sit and talk, our messages are different. There is a uniqueness in Mr. Paul that I don't have. There's a uniqueness I have that Mr. Paul does not have. That is what separates all of us. So it's not like some people, like how people used to say that some of we can't leave some people. No. Everybody that God has created came to this earth with a uniqueness, with a purpose. So there is actually the reason for existence. There's a reason why you are alive. There's a reason why you came to earth. But now what happens is we feel like some people are the ones who are called because we see them excelling. But now we fail to sit back and ask ourselves that what is that thing that I can also do? Trust me, there is something you can do that your next neighbor cannot do. Like the example that Mr. Paul gave. There is something you can do that your next neighbor cannot do. Maybe if we should bring Francisco Ganu here, he might not be able to talk like we're talking. He might not be able to speak entrepreneurship. But trust me, if they take us to the ring to fight, to box, I will not even be able to pass under the rope before we want to start boxing. Everybody has that uniqueness. You have to find yourself. You have to find yourself. Self-discovery. If you want to be able to, let me put it this way, self-discovery is the greatest weapon for mass delivery.
Is that not where the problem is? That is, people have not discovered who they are.
Yes, they have not discovered. And somebody might be watching us right now and they're like, so how do I discover myself? This is something I had taught so many years ago, like about 4 to 5 years ago. I was talking to some people about purpose. And then I told them that everything that God created has a purpose. If you see right now, even in your parlor, in your room, everything that is there has a purpose. Why do you have a bed? It's to sleep on. Why is there a bulb? For the light to shine. Why is there a TV? So you can watch entertainment and other things. Even the spoon you have, what's the use? To eat. So everything has a purpose. But the thing is that we face difficulties in discovering our purpose. Right. Now, somebody wrote to me one time after watching our program on TV and was asking me, okay, so purpose, like, okay, so you keep talking about vision, purpose, what's all of this, and how do you get there? And I asked the question. Now, let me use a practical case of a student who wrote to me a few days ago. And she said that she's having difficulties choosing. She had not started school since she has her online level. They're about to start after this lockdown. She wants to start school. She doesn't know what to do. So I told her, okay, what do you want to become in future? She's confused. I said, okay, write down 5 things you know that you're passionate about. She wrote down a couple of them. And then I said, okay, I want you to cancel the ones you feel that you can live without. Meaning, if you end up not being that tomorrow, you might not really be bothered. She cancelled 4 and then told me that, though I've sent the last one that was left was an artist. That she likes to sing. But she wants to go to school. Trust me, they don't teach music in school. So now I got a little bit like, okay, so now this now is something that I have to be very technical about it, so that you don't have to make her leave school because she wants to just follow her vision to be an artist and all of that. I told her, I said, now this is what you're passionate about, and you feel that if you do this is where the divine fulfillment will come. Because you know that you're fulfilling purpose, you're actually in line with purpose when there is a fulfillment and satisfaction. That one thing that you can do even when people are not paying you for. Although purpose has its way of feeding you, it must feed you when you're following purpose. But that one thing that you can do, that you know that even if they want to put you at gunpoint, you feel like, I can still manage to stand for this. That is the purpose. We have to get to that point where we can be able to pick out that purpose. Now, Christians will say that some of them get to find out their purpose by revelation. God designed purpose. But there is also self-designed purpose. There is something you can design for yourself. When you start fight, okay, now, if I want to prove, I will, Mr. Leo, permit me to say this a little bit. Let me get a little bit scriptural because I know Christians are watching. Now, why do I say self-designed purpose? Now, if you want to check a book of Nehemiah, the Bible talks about Nehemiah. Nehemiah went to God and opted to go and rebuild the broken walls of Jerusalem. He did not have, before then, there was nothing written in the scriptures that Nehemiah was anointed to go and build the broken walls. He went and told God that he wants to. You look at the cases, they are different. There are people that they just position themselves.
You position yourself and
God blesses and gives you the anointing to do it. What is just positioning. And most of the times it's difficult to find your purpose if you're always seated. How will you know what you are good at doing if you are never working? If you're always idling. That's what most people are doing. You just sit. Should come and push you every day. They are pushing you like a wheelbarrow. They are pushing you every day. You have to step out and get yourself involved in activities. That is only how you will know the ones you are not even good at. You will know the ones you're not good at when you start working. So it's very important for us to be able to identify our purpose. That is what will give us a sense of direction, because purpose is that one thing that can make you look very stubborn and disrespectful. Purpose.
Okay, so you want to succeed in life. If you are watching us, take your pen and paper and be jotting down whatever Miss L and Neba Paul are going to be saying this evening. Please, you need to take some steps here, because if you don't take steps, you are going nowhere.
Of course.
Yes, Mr.
Many
Leo.
persons have crashed. They have wasted their destinies because they have not found vision and purpose, like you are saying, but also because they don't know how to differentiate from the others. That is, if you want to fulfill purpose, the first thing, if you want to succeed in life, you have to get out of the crowd.
Yes, Mr. Leo. A year ago, I was speaking in one church, and the term in that church was, "Why fit in when we were created to stand out?"
That is another set in another way. What are the things you need to sacrifice to stand out there? This topic for today.
Yes.
That is, you must sacrifice
Yes.
some groups, some persons. You must stand out.
Yes. Why fit in when you were created to stand out? Why do I want to put it this way? Because it is our uniqueness that is going to make a way for us. And if you are unique and you are chasing the crowd, on most occasions the crowd is never right. on most occasions. And for you to be able to follow that purpose and make it, there must be things that you have to do that maybe those around you are not willing to follow you do or encourage you to do. Maybe your parents, maybe your friends, your loved ones. But because you are the one that has been given that vision, that drive, you understand that this thing is what I'm supposed to do, and for me to do it, I need to take this particular road. You are a journalist, and you know that if you consume maybe particular food, particular oil, particular drinks, it's going to make your voice be very rough, and it's not going to be pleasant in the ears of your audience. What do? You make sure that you don't consume those things. You are a sporter. You understand that you need to practice as often as possible. Don't consume alcohol or don't do particular things that are going to reduce your energy in order to stay in that lane and deliver at your top best. There's nothing that you do in life without sacrificing. Star Daddy always puts it this way: there's always a price. There is always a price, and even us Christians who understand that even Jesus Christ paid the ultimate price.
Yeah.
I wonder how if the Son of God could pay an ultimate price, and you and I, who are mere mortals, we are not ready to pay a price. Know where you are going and know what you need to equip yourself with. That's going to take you right there. I don't know. Seemingly, we are going to be preaching this evening. I remember a scripture where he said some women who set out for a particular journey, and a few of them carried oil in their lamp, some carried extra, and some did not carry extra. Their lamps got lost on the way, and they could not continue their way because the road was dark. You understand? Understand where you are going and know what you need in order to equip yourself with, in order to reach your destiny. If you don't know where you are going, you may be carrying, you may be want to be basketballer and you are carrying shoes that footballers wear. It's going to limit your journey. The field on which you are supposed to explore doesn't need those types of shoes. But it doesn't mean that the shoes are not right, but the shoes are right for the wrong purpose. The same shoes that Ethiopians use are not the same shoes that Michael Jordan used or the one that Francis Ngannou used, because they are playing on a different field. Where are you going? What are the equipments that you need? Because in most cases, when you discover your purpose, you need to start aligning yourself with people who are, going your way, or look at people who are ahead of you and looking at how they maneuver their way to be able to where they are.
Okay. Some people will be asking us to type "Jesus, I love you" on social media, share it to 1,000 people or groups, and wait for miracles in the coming days. Though I wonder if that's what people like Bill Gates, Dangotes, and others did to become successful. Noel, writing from Bankolo in Yaoundé, wishing you all a happy new month. Yes, is that not also what we must look out for? That is, you must let go. That is, being too religious and thinking that manna will fall from heaven. That you must understand, also understand the difference between working hard and the blessings that comes with any declaration from the man of God.
There is a big difference between being religious and being a Christian.
Okay.
Christianity is a lifestyle. But religiosity is based on actions that you see from people. Things you see from people, you begin to do it. But Christianity is a lifestyle, is your daily life by understanding who you are. That's Christianity. All these things that we begin to lead, we're leaning on, hearing. By the way, people know that you don't send us our messages to my phone. That if you don't do this, curse. Which curse? You cannot curse me for not forwarding your message. You're even wasting my time and I have other things to be doing. But now the reason why fear will come upon you and you want to act on such messages, it goes back to the same thing. You don't know who you are. If you know who you are, you understand that you are the direct consequence of your actions. The direct consequence. Everything that happens, every action you take, the consequence is you. So people will not be playing as if they're doing chess with your life. It doesn't work that way. If you know who you are, you will know that everything you're doing today is what is going to tell your future. Your reality is built from your actions, what you're doing. Those are your reality. It's not what people are making you, people are propelling you to do. But now when you begin to see things like that, you're getting all religious and all of that. Like yesterday when we're talking at yesterday at the same Living Water Tabernacle when we were talking yesterday, I made mention of something like that. I went back to a post that Mr. Javi Joybe did on Facebook about somebody who said he has not had a job for many years, and the day he gets a job, he starts asking his employer that he has service like 3 times a week. He really wants to know how his schedule at work will look like and all of that. I said, you're not serious. You're not serious. And I used to state I gave an example. I said, look at where we're seated now. We're talking to you people in the church. But in back home, I was supposed to be in my service. Is this not service I'm doing? We have missed the whole thing. Christianity is about service. Service to humanity. Using what God has given you to serve. That's Christianity. Whatever action you're doing, your time and everything that you're using to impact people, and whatever action you're doing that is geared towards impacting people is service. You're living the life, because that's what Jesus was doing.
As some Christians, you have to let go of some of these religious issues now.
Of course.
At least you're in church from Monday to Friday, and you want to stand out.
See,
There's a lot you have to let go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, we're not saying that you should not go to church. Although I used to have problems with pastors who also do that, though. I used to think that it's not too appropriate to me. Now, I said something. I really pray that those who are listening right now will not misquote me. I said something to somebody. I said it's easier as a pastor to make the people who claim to be busy, the entrepreneurs and all the like, who say they are busy, it's very easy to make them serve God if you can be able to adjust to them. You're not adjusting to them because you are begging them to be in your church. No, it's another way of impacting them. If I know that this way will make you follow me or make you serve God, I should be able to fix a program that suits you to be there. I know of a church that they go to church early in the morning, people attend their services and they go back home, and it's simple. Life goes on like that. Now, we're not saying that you should not put your program in church and all the like. And those who are working and you go to church and then you stop going to church and start living the wayward life, because no. You should always know how to balance that. If you're a true Christian and you understand your place in Christ, you know how to balance that.
Okay.
But all these religious mindsets, let's pack it and keep it somewhere.
And you have to revisit them.
Yeah, we have to revisit them.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo and fellow panelists. A great topic. To be successful means achieving the desired result. Mr. Leo, after knowing oneself, which is a basis for being successful, I also think a person who wants to be successful should disconnect from contentment if he or she has not achieved their desired result, irrespective of what they have at hand, just like Apostle Paul writes in Philippians 3:12-14. Adolf from unique island of Koto Barombi, that should be in Kumba. Yes, but we want to stand out. Yes. We want to be successful. And we have been at home for 10, 20 years lamenting and the like. We must give up excuses and living up to our responsibilities.
Mr. Leo, I always use this quote. If you're on a highway and your car gets bad, you can't sit inside that car and you're expecting people to come and be pushing your car. That's crazy.
You tell stories.
You step out of your car, you make efforts, you call passers-by, or some sympathizers might come and support you to push your car. If you sit in your house and you're hoping that somebody someday will come and identify you by miracle or by design, on rare occasions would that happen. In public speaking, there's something we always say: showing up is 80% done. That is it. I quoted here last week a young man who watched this program, took his time, collected my number from Mr. Liu, came to our office, the VIP Winners office in Bonaberi, presented himself. That was on a Monday, and on Friday he had his contract. You understand, to wire a building, a big building. Why? Because he got the information and he did not sleep on it. He acted on it. He took actions. He came and said, I heard you do this, you do this, you do this. How can we go about it? And this is what I do. He showed me pictures. I can do this very well. I said, okay, good. I have a friend who is building a house. I think he was talking about an electrician. I just called that friend. Hey, I have a young man here who is an amazing electrician. I don't even know the young man. But I just told my friend he's an amazing electrician. And then my friend said, okay, connect me with him. On Friday that we were here, that day, the next Friday, the guy was calling me. That's I want to come to your office because I got that contract and I want to come and appreciate you. What did he do? He took action. If you're wishing to become anything, you can't sit and fold your hands. Even by nature, any standing water smells, Mr. Leo. You must take actions, and for you to show that you are alive is the action that you take. You can't get up and be sitting in your house every day and you want things to happen for you. Only actions have results. Inaction will give you no results. So it's not because you had, back in school, I was thinking about when I will graduate, and when I hear an advert for a job opportunity and they say 3 years job experience, I was very annoyed. You know, I was like, these guys, what do they mean? I mean, how do you expect me to step out of school and I have experience? It's when I had to work and I stepped out and started trying to set up my business, and I understood that somebody who has his business and is trying to raise it doesn't care about you. His problem is the results you are going to provide for the success of that business. So if you sit in the house and you fold your hands and you're not making any endeavors, the good thing is that in today's world of employment, people care little or not about certificates. The question they usually ask is, what do you do?
Okay.
What can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do?
Certificate.
What can you do? And that takes a combination of all the activities that you have been doing, from being the head boy in classroom, from being the financial secretary of your village meeting, from being the head of that association in your quarter. Every part of it contributes to your personality.
Yeah. So if you are watching us and you are considering the fact that you are not successful, please don't give excuses. Whatever happens to you, take responsibility for them.
Of course. You should take responsibility
And
for all
we
your
should
actions.
also let go of this accusing, blaming attitude.
It's very common with us, especially in Cameroon. The African mindset is very backward when it concerns who is responsible for success. It's very bizarre to find out that right up to this age that we're in, people are still blaming people for their failure. You're responsible for your success. Mr. Teke Samuel told me one time, he said that success is predictable. And he said, Lord, that you can predict your success. Anything you do today will tell me if you'll be successful tomorrow. So I cannot be sleeping when people are working and I expect to have the same results like them. It doesn't work that way. If you're putting efforts is what gives better results. So if you don't put in efforts, there'll be no result. Result is bred from a place of action. You must be ready to put in action. Now, all this aspect of blaming people, oh, this person did not lead me, or this person did not send me to school, or this person did not give me business money and all the like. The same person you're accusing who is successful, ask yourself that who is responsible for that person's success. Because now, most of us, we've not had this picture. If I'm from a wealthy family, my family has money. If I come out broke from that wealthy family, it's not the family that is the problem. It is me. I didn't look for my place well. I didn't see where to hang. I didn't see where I could just leverage on. You can't live your life blaming people. The more you're blaming these people they are still working and they are going. You're blaming people, others are discovering who they are and picking up from their shackles, picking up from where they fell, and they are moving ahead, and you are there blaming people. You can't live your life continually blaming people and accusing them falsely, saying they are responsible for your failure. Thank God that we're talking about the topic on independency last week.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually encountered a case like that this week. I thank God that it is very well with the case. But these are some of the things we are talking about. You are on food and everything, and some other people, I don't know how it works. Like, how do you even get comfortable? I pray that God will help us sincerely. How do you even get comfortable when you see people walking and then you are there complaining? Imagine that the both of us, the rain is falling. One person steps out to go and sell under the rain. Another person is saying that the rain is falling, I cannot go. Why did you not sell today? The rain was falling. Come on. You want to go and hold the rain? Let me not call tribes that used to hold rain here. Do you want to go and hold the rain that you don't want to sell? You should step out and sell. Step out and do the activity. Everything that is happening, that is around us, now. There's a particular tape that Mr. Paul played in the car today when we were coming. No, today when we were going for the program, and I got something striking. You know, you can decide to see an opportunity in anything. It depends from which angle you're seeing, how you seeing it. The same person you feel that is responsible, that is doing something that can bring your failure, see it as a challenge. It depends how you are seeing it. Some people grow up from poor backgrounds and they emerge to be rich. Some people go from backgrounds that know nobody. Like a few days ago, I was telling somebody, something happened. I was telling somebody, I said, they don't know my father in this Cameroon. No. They don't know my mother. I said, but they know me. In fact, my mother will meet a situation and then she'll say, do you know my daughter? My daughter will call this person. But these are people who came to earth before me. So there are people who live from a poor family and they will struggle and they will stand out. And there are some people who live from the same poor family and they will lavish in poverty. In fact, they will inherit the poverty.
They'll blame uncles.
Yes, they will struggle to fit in the poverty. While others will come from a poverty family and they'll struggle to stand out. You can never solve a problem you are a part of.
Okay.
You must step out of the problem to solve it.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm enjoying the program. Please kindly correct the topic to be a question and not a statement. What we must let go to be successful in life. Okay. To be a question and not a statement.
What must we
let go to become successful in life?
Yeah.
Okay. Collins is writing from Limbe. Collins, thank you for that. Yes. Can we change that? What must we let go to become successful in life? Okay. Thank you, Collins, for that. Good evening to the team on board. I must say I appreciate the program. It's my first time watching the program. What I want to add is that young people should know that they need to set a standard for their life and work towards it, and God will accompany them just at that standard. Have an open mind and believe you can do it. From Elvis, writing from Bonaberry in Douala. Good evening, sir. Dennis is writing from Kumba. Good evening to you, Dennis. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's like the panelists are not in line with the question. As such, a person who wants to be successful should strive to get away from his or her comfort zone. Chapchet is writing from Bomenda. Is that not also what we have to let go?
Yes.
Comfort zone.
Yes,
we are living with friends, we are living with parents, and we are scared.
Your comfort zone is anything that makes you not to want to go for more. That makes you, that is some kind of lie that you tend to believe and you live in it. You understand? That's what I can define like a comfort zone. I said in the church today that God tactically designed hunger so much so that he can push us to hustle. You understand? Because if people are not hungry, they can't do anything. And as Galaxy will always say, if your bills cannot motivate you, then nothing can motivate you. Nothing, no matter what they will say. So this is in line with you sitting somewhere where you think that you are all fulfilled, and maybe because you are still under your father's roof and you are not paying any rent, maybe your mother is still cooking and you are quarreling with your kid sisters or your kid brothers, and you think that you are all fulfilled. That is not life. Life is when you have a quest, to step up your game, to leave a legacy, to ask questions, because there are several battles today that we're fighting because those who came before us did not fight those battles. And if our kids would have to come and fight those battles again, then it was better we did not live. That's what I think. So if you are seated out there and you think that, okay, because you are able to have food on your table today, you are living under your father's roof, ask yourself this question: what if those people who are providing food to you can't provide it tomorrow? What if your father maybe has a loan somewhere that you don't know, and tomorrow the bank comes and claims the house? What will become of you? Will your children also grow up and stay in your father's house? There should be some fulfillment that you should find by providing for others around you, by also stepping up your game. Because you grew up and your father had just a mud house, you should be able to cement it so that your kids should grow up and live in a better house. There should be those questions that make it to be uncomfortable so that you can stretch a bit to at least step up your game and achieve more. But if you are just in your corner and you are just I don't want so much more, I'm okay with this. I mean, I don't think if there are several things that we are enjoying today in life because some people wanted more. In the early 2000s, phones came to exist, and mobile phones. Why? Because some people somewhere they sat and they were thinking, they wanted more, they were asking, how can we be able to relate to people on a long distance? And somewhere, somehow, you're seated there and you're using a mobile phone comfortably, and you are not seeking your own contribution that God bestowed in you upon creation, that you can also bring it forth to the world so that others can be able to enjoy them. For sure, I can tell you, everybody is buried with something unique, and you also have it. But the thing is that you have not been able to hit it hard on yourself by asking the right questions to be able to have that to bring it to limelight.
Good evening. My name is Palvet from Kumba. It's my first time watching the program, and it's amazing. I want to ask this question: is it that every human has his or her own pattern to succeed, or there are some principles that will work for everybody?
Principles.
The first thing I'll say is success has no secret. There is no secret to success. There are only systems.
Okay.
You build systems to succeed, and systems are built on principles. You're supposed to establish principles that work for yourself. one of the ways that helps us to get to that point, to be able to accomplish purpose, to be able to live a fulfilled life, I think we should get to that point where we also ask ourselves, we also get to know who we don't want to become. If you don't want to become a drunkard, so what do you want to be? Sometimes look at the things around you.
You must let go of
what don't you want to?
alcohol.
Yes, all those excesses. What? Now you see people living stuff like, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be like this. That's self-denial. You refuse. You restrict yourself for some things. Our youth, especially in Cameroon, we love excesses. Everything you want to have excess. You know, they always want to have extra.
In a month, we have
I ask somebody,
9 parties.
Yes. I ask somebody that you go to an occasion, you want to eat everything. You have to eat everything. How? You want to eat everything. Like, we always want excesses. Like, you feel like if there's no excess, it's not complete. It cannot bring fulfillment. No, it should not be like that. Like what Mr. Paul mentioned about comfort zone. I used to define comfort zone as the place that reduces your ability to be creative.
Okay.
Any point in your life where you feel like you're not thinking again, you are comfortable. Just slap yourself and wake up from sleep. Anytime you feel like you're not thinking, like you just eat, just relax, open your body, the chest, spread like mother hen that is covering the cheeks. Know that your life is even ending. You're about to die, I'm telling you. Because any life that is not life itself, it has an innovative factor. It's actually evolving. The way you were yesterday is not the way you are today. Now look at what happened. Was it yesterday? Yesterday, when I got to Douala 2 days ago, and I was telling Mr. Paul we had to go for the program yesterday. I told Mr. Paul that look at this dress. So I tried on this dress when I was coming to Douala. It was okay. I'm wearing it today. It's not itching my body. What's happening? And they were laughing. I was actually struggling with the dress. And I was saying that it's like I've increased in just one night that I came to Douala. I had to struggle with that dress and went for the program. That is exactly what happens. The way you slept, the way you're going to sleep today, you won't get up like that tomorrow. Yep. But things that we forget to see that way.
Is that not also the key problem we are facing? That is, we spend 5, 10, 15, 20 years without realizing that we have wasted because we do not actually put timeline targets for our lives. Yeah. We don't sit and say, next year I must be able to do this. 5 years down the road, this is what I need to do, and nobody is doing self-evaluation.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Leo. Time happens to be the highest capital that every human being has. And the good thing is that you cannot save it. You cannot keep it to use it later. You can either invest it or you waste it. And just as you rightly said, most of us waste it. You know, people make New Year resolutions every 31st December, and on the 2nd of January, they don't still remember them. And the next year, they do the same thing. You understand? There are no milestones. There are no measuring points. People, you know, they run in a circle. You know, they keep doing the same things and expecting different results. Albert Einstein describes that as insanity, where you keep doing the same thing and you're expecting to have different results. We must be able to put measuring points, to be able to evaluate ourselves at every point in time and know whether the track we have been taking is leading us where we want to go or not. But the question is that, are we even going anywhere? Well, usually, my good friend Jafnu Joybet, he always, Paul, do you know that thing that you're doing that is working well for you? Keep doing it. Do you know that thing that is stopping you from getting where you want to be? Stop it. Do you know what you are not doing that is supposed to help you to go where you want to do? Start doing it. You understand? If you are not able to ask yourself these questions, and of course, especially, Mr. Leo, those who are going to help you to stay on this lane are those that you spend most of your time with. That's why after discovering who you want to be, the next thing you must do is to clean your environment. Cleaning your environment doesn't mean that you should go and start sweeping the walls of your house and try cleaning. It's about cleaning your entourage, those you spend most of your time with. I always like to quote Jesus Christ. He came to the world and he was a great man. Everybody wanted to follow him. What did he do? He selected 12 among the many and said, you guys are going to ride with me. And among the 12 still, he selected 3. The secret of a mastermind, that one is another topic for another day. That these are my inner circle. I mean, you want to relate with everybody and you want to be unique. It doesn't go that way. You must be able to create a path for yourself and identify those who can contribute to you to who you want to be. Mind you, Mr. Leo, I must tell you that the early days that I started speaking on TV are not the same today. My composure, my breath is not the same. Why? Because I'm I'm with Mr. Leo and he's contributing to me. I see the way he talks, the way he poses in front of the camera, the way Miss Earl just plays, the way Mr. Teken and all of that. I'm evaluating, and it makes me to be better and know how to focus on the camera. If I can't be able to do that, if I can't be able to be where those who are doing these things so that I can learn the practicals, there's no way I can be efficient with what I do. That's one mistake that people are doing. They take a particular path, they know exactly what they want to do, but they don't want to lose their primary school friends.
Okay.
I posted something on Facebook the other day. When I meet a schoolmate and you start evaluating us with who was first or last in class, we lost connection. You understand? When you start saying, "Oh, master, I used to be in that first," or it doesn't. Real life doesn't evaluate in what was happening. In real life, you have the lessons before you have the test before you have the lessons. When people they start building a boundary, like real life is like the classroom. You understand? Real life is just so wide, and if you want to keep limiting yourself to what was happening in school, your scope in life is going to be very limited.
Good evening, Mr. Kum. Let go certain things is a key to success. I have a job, but still going to school because I want to be called a doctor. I let go pleasures, time for enjoyment for my study. I started with first degree today. It's a master's. Tomorrow I will be doctor. Tasha Raymond is writing from Manfi, so he is foregoing pleasure because he wants to be called a doctor. Sir, if I'm not mistaken, what she's saying is you have created your own pattern. That is letting go what you need to let go and start doing what you are supposed to do. Okay? Greetings, Mr. Leo, Miss L, Sir Paul. Thank you, my Media Prime, for bringing up this platform. We learn from every day. I think one of the things we need to let go is seeking approval and validation from others. With an exception being your mentor, cause it's draining and time consuming. How we made it in Africa, VIP communicator, Bilaji Ndamsa writing. She took this because that was a question I was going to ask to Miss L. But I was not going to say it this way. I was going to say that you must let go of this desire to be liked by everybody.
If everybody likes you, first of all, your life has a problem. How can everybody like you? I tell people that when I walk on the street, I get into a room or anything, there are people who say, "Oh, Miss, you're welcome," and the welcome is from the heart. And as soon as I say you're welcome, she's like, so she's here again, like come on, she's here again. See, if everybody likes you, your life is weak. Your life is weak because people who are following a particular lane, they are aggressive towards life. You can never be aggressive and don't step on toes. Never. You will step on toes whether you like it or not, no matter how careful you are. You just discover that you tell somebody good morning and the person will hear the good morning but a different way. And then look at you now, you will start trying to convince the person that no, that good morning was actually a very good morning. It was no harm. The time you're trying to explain yourself, someone has gone ahead and you're there trying to seek for approval. There's someone that I look up to so much. I've never met her before, but I know that one that I get to meet her, Lisa Nichols. Lisa Nichols used to say something. She says, when you are shining, people look at you and they say, your light is too bright, your light is too bright, your light is too bright. And then she said, instead of dimming your light, tell them that I'll borrow you shades. Give them glasses, tell them to cover their eyes. Tell them that because you see this light like this, it really cannot go down. Because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be shining. And I don't need your approval to start shining. I don't need your approval. You're not the one telling me when to even start.
The sun does not need our approval.
Yes, it comes up when it's time. The sun, everything that God has created know their time. Even the Bible talks about to everything there is a time as a season. Even your purpose. That's one thing I love purpose. Purpose has its time. When it starts beating you from inside. You will discover that everywhere is hot. It's like Mr. Paul used to say that he sacked his boss. That way, when he was hot, he had to quit his job to follow this lead. And that is what we have to do. You cannot be waiting for approval all the time. People have waited for approval and they died with what God has called them to do. The only person that can give you approval to yourself is your inner witness. There's this conviction that comes with purpose, right from within. It comes like a hunger. You get to points where any place that is not supposed to contribute to your purpose, when you sit there, it's like they put something, is pinching you. But this only happens to somebody who knows what they are supposed to do. So you don't wait for approval from people. You don't wait for approval from people. And now, Pelagie mentioned something about mentors. I actually saw this flyer on her status today, and I was appreciating her for sharing the flyer of the program today. Now, talking about mentors, yes, mentors should guide you, but please choose your mentors wisely. Any mentor who thinks that it's not okay for you to outshine is not worthy to be your mentor.
Okay.
The thing is that you can never cover your mentor. We should know that no matter how you become great. It's like how one day we're in the car. Then I told Mr. Tekeda, we left the program, I told Mr. Tekeda, say some years to come, you look at me like you hit your chest, I'm proud of my daughter. He was laughing. I said, are you not happy that I'll be greater than you? Mr. Tekeda said, ta! And they said, Kubana is Kubana. That's what he said. And the son of Kubana is the son of Kubana. So when he said so, now I put those words together. And when I went back home, it rang in my head. And then I realized that no matter how you become great, even no matter how I excel, when I will stand to talk, I always say, I want to thank God for my father, Mr. Teke Samuel. You might be doing greater exploits, yes, but the father is the father.
Okay.
So you must be sure of your mentor before you're even choosing a mentor.
Okay. The father remains the father. That is also signs of gratitude, yeah?
Yes.
Because ingratitude actually kills destiny.
Completely.
Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Liu. First of all, you need a target. Know what you need to get to your target. Know what can stop you from getting to your target. Avoid all what will stop you. Some of the things you need to work on is to let go bad spending habits and learn savings. Let go compromises or giving excuses. Let go of complaints and accusing others for your downfall. Instead, look for a way to stand back. Let go of bad and unfruitful friends in a wise and polite manner, because they may be your market. Let go of unfruitful debates. Instead, read and learn more from others who have succeeded before you. Challenge yourself daily. Kalis Choka writing there from Yaoundé. Yes, the next point is we must let go of toxic friends.
Bad vibes.
I think when I reached 14 yesterday, I told Miss Earl that I had a friend. This friend wasn't a bad friend, but at one point in time, my purpose was calling for me, and I could not keep him. We were really close. We were doing a lot of things together, but time came that we could not continue doing those things. Whether we like it or not, those we hang around with, they contribute to our lives. I always say this: they taught us in school about cross-pollination, that plants cross-pollinate others, but they do not tell others as humans we do same. The habits you exhibit, the actions you take. If I hang around you for as often as possible, I'll start doing the things that you do. You understand? And if you find your purpose and you find out that there are particular people that you are spending time with and they are not contributing to your purpose, let them go. Tell them you love them, as Pastor Chris will always say. Tell them you love them, but you can love them from a distance. You understand? It's not because these people are bad, but the thing is that the direction you are taking is not that which you can take them along. It is very simple, and it's not as if you were bad. But if you always, as we talking about approval, if you want to get their approval before you leave them, no matter how you explain to them that this road I'm taking, it's a road that we will not always have to hang out together. They will never understand. Even when you take that road, they will always come to you and say, no, because Miss Earl now talks on TV, she thinks that she's now too big, she cannot hang out with. It's not about Miss Earl. The one thing is that when you find that purpose is bigger than you. You're always challenging yourself to live up to that purpose, and you cannot do that by keeping toxic friends around, because you need a lot of inner strength to be able to stay on that lane. And if you have people around you who are always using words to you that are going to drain you, who are always pulling you to places that are going to drain your energy, you cannot stay on that lane for a long time. Yes.
Okay, so you want to succeed in life, watch out for the persons you keep around. Are they adding energy onto what you're doing, or they are sapping you out of energy? Good evening, Mr. Liu and crew. Good program. Be blessed. Our time is our life. What we do with our time affects our life. The life we live has a time to expire. From the United Arab Emirates. Egbe. Is writing there. That is time management. We sleep a lot. We watch so much TV. We have time, and we are not making use of the time. The time is not productive.
Mr. Paul said something today. He said that time is the greatest capital that we have. The same 24 hours that the rich have is the same 24 hours that the poor man has. The difference is just how they use it. And information. That is what differentiates these two people. We have to learn how to use our time wisely. I still don't get it how people sleep. Like, how do you manage to sleep for 10 hours? See, we're not saying, okay, sometimes the doctors will say it's healthy and all of that. But permit me to say that when you are somebody who understands the principles of life and your body, you make your body to react to your thoughts. You think about the fact that 4 hours is okay until your body accepts that 4 hours is okay for rest, and it does not break down. I'm a practical case, I'm telling you. Because a lot of us feel like, no, I have to really, I have to sleep. I really have to sleep. As you're sleeping, people are walking ahead and are going.
I need rest. You're resting.
What are you resting when you've not walked? Come on.
The book of Proverbs says it. A little bit of rest and
yes, your rest.
Poverty creeps in. Like a robber.
When people are sowing, that's when you're sleeping. You say a little slumber, a little sleep. That's what the Bible says. You say they should rest a bit. You have to get to the point where you understand that this is just 24 hours that we have. You said something today, Mr. Paul. When I sat down, I was like, it's true. I really wish that God could borrow some hours for some people and give me to add to my own 24 hours. Because I think 24 hours is seemingly small. Because imagine the whole of today, up and down, doing this, doing that, and today we are here. And after this, we'll go get to another program before going to bed. But some people, you sleep, you're the first to sleep in the house. You're the last to wake up. And then the worst thing is that you sleep so much that when you sleep that type of sleep where right in your mind, like your mind dies in your sleep, it means you really are not ready to succeed.
Yeah, you sleep and you get up very late, and when you get up, the first thing you do, you get food to eat, and then you go plan for the day, and then you go watching telenovela.
Yes, no plan, no plan for the day, no plan. It's the same thing I said earlier. We cannot have the same results because the way we are using our time is different. And time responds to activities. You cannot even know how to manage your time if you don't know the activities you're supposed to be doing. And these activities, you have to break them down. What are you supposed to do for the day? This is one thing I taught my siblings, my sisters, my brothers, all of them. I taught them to do lists. I said, you must learn to do lists. Have a structure of activities you have for the day. See, Mr. Leo, I used to be one person that time management was my problem in this life. The person who delivered me from time management was my mother. My mother did research and came up with a whole document on time management and gave me when I was in Form 5. And she gave me a punishment. She said, if we don't read that book, read the documents. The only thing that kept thinking in my mind was that time waits for nobody. You cannot save time, and time cannot be redeemed.
Okay. Let me add something. Let me add something to oversleeping. There's something we don't understand. There's difference between sleep and rest. People sleep and get up tired than when they went for work, and they sleep for very long hours, thinking that it's the long sleep that gives them rest. And there are people who sleep for 3 hours, 4 hours, and they get up more energized than you who slept for 10 hours. There's a difference somewhere, and here's the difference: what you carry in your mind when you are going to sleep, and what is going to keep you out, what is going to wake you after the 3 hours. Is very, very important. And what you listen to before you go to sleep, and what you listen to the last thing you listen when you're going to sleep, or watch when you're going to sleep, and the first thing you listen to in the morning. It has a way that it activates your mind and keeps you going, energetic.
You need to detach yourself with people you know will only bring you down. People with different purposes with you. You can keep contact with them, but not in your close circle. Kuku, VIP winner, communicator watching from Douala, Ndogbong. VIP winners are watching the program. Good evening, sir. To become successful, we need to learn how to go solo and develop the attitude of an eagle who flies only with eagles and higher than other birds. Peter Kwan from Bonaberry. I got inspired reading the life of an eagle last week, and I can tell you that it's quite touching. You really want to succeed, try to look for how eagles live and how they survive, you also are going to survive if you were to practice
Perfect lifestyle.
Yes, if you were to practice what eagles do to survive. Good evening, Mr. Liu. For one to be successful, it will be advisable to stay away from bad company, that is bad friends. Get out from the someday island. Identify and develop their skills, making sure they are ready to pay the price, and then develop a strong self-discipline. Special greetings to Mr. Neba Paul. Kum Leonard is writing from Bamenda. We are taking a short break to come back to continue our discussions out there.
C'est aussi la rentrée sur les bouquets Canal+. Le décodeur HD Canal+ est à 5 000 francs en ce moment au lieu de 10 000 et l'installation est gratuite. Avec plus de 200 chaînes, c'est l'heure d'apprendre et de se cultiver tous les jours. De retrouver la Ligue des Champions, les grands championnats de foot européens, les compétitions africaines, de se divertir avec les meilleurs films et séries. N'oubliez pas, le décodeur HD Canal+ est à 5 000 francs et l'installation est gratuite. Tarifs et conditions dans tous les points de vente Canal+, dans la limite des stocks disponibles.
Welcome back. You're watching Prime Art on my Media Prime. We are going to be continue to discuss what it takes to be successful. What are those things that we need to detach ourselves from? There also are some myths. Some people think that there is a magic wand, some miracle that will turn things around. But to know that we need to come out of that and know that to succeed in life, it is a process. It follows principles and it takes time.
Yes, sir. We mentioned principles. Now there is actually no magic that these people play. There's no magic. There's one French song I love so much. I don't know how to sing it, but the guy sang in French that la vraie magie c'est le travail.
Yes, Bambeleke song.
Yes, Bambeleke. C'est la
La vraie magie c'est le travail.
Yes, la vraie magie c'est le travail. The real magic you need in your success is hard work and smart work. You have to put yourself to it. There is no mystical force that will do all these things we watch with genie on, genie now. This thing they will rub the lamp. They say somebody will come out, say make a wish. You just wish that 10 billion will appear on my table. Those things don't happen. They happen just in movies. Those things are just fictions that we see. All right. So there is actually no magic. You have to build principles. Build your life on principles. Let your life have the do's and the don'ts. I don't do this. And stand on your word. I'm not that type of person. I don't go this way. I don't speak like this. I don't do this. This is what I do. When your life has the do's and the don'ts, it has a way it speaks even to people around you. It communicates in itself. And then you see somebody wants to do this beside, they'll be like, no, don't take it to him. He will not accept to do it. You have to build your life on principles. Let people know, because success responds to principles. Like I earlier mentioned, that there is no success secret. There is no, when people tell you that, you ask, well, what is the secret to your success? They'll tell you, I was getting up very early. I was doing this common that people were getting up early, that earlier than you that are not successful. It's just principle. These people have things that they had to sacrifice. They had to beat the flesh a little. They had to let go of some things. And the principles that apply to one person might not be the principle that apply for the next person. Because the path we are following is different. You're not going my way. We have our lane. Everybody has their lane. If you're going to Nigeria, and I'm going to Limbe, and the both of us are in Boya, the person who's going to Nigeria will either be thinking if I should go travel to Douala and get a plane, or I should go and take a ship. The person who's going to Limbe will stop at my 17 and take a bus and go to Limbe. So these are two different things. So the cost of transportation from my 17 to Limbe and from Boya to Nigeria, they are two different things. I need to work extra because I need more money than you. Your self-satisfaction might be that it will be different from my own. All of us have the ability to shine. Somebody put it on their status. I've forgotten who I saw that on their status. Somebody wrote on their status that the sky is big enough for every star to shine. There is enough space for everybody. Choose your shine. Let me choose my shine. It depends on what I am ready to do. I have to sacrifice to shine like that. And remember that the star will easily be identified when it's standing in that dark environment. So you must be willing to be in the dark. So let's identify your star. That's what we're talking about, standing out. You must be willing to be in that dark zone. One thing I feel that we should know is that when we're talking about network and your friends, people should avoid their stressors. Avoid your stressors. There are people that when they come beside only bad vibes. They only talk about negative things and impossibilities. There are people like that. They can talk you into believing that things cannot be good, because they feel like
there's somebody holding down.
There's somebody who is
my brother, my sister.
Nobody is. See, it's you. There's this quote by Mr. Teke that I keep repeating. That this quote is always in my spirit. Tomorrow does not exist for a man who does not have activities of today. You don't have a tomorrow if you don't have activities today. The activities of today are the results for tomorrow. And the results for tomorrow will give birth to other activities that you have to carry out to have another tomorrow. So the continuity of your life depends on your activities. If you're not willing to get into action,
so you don't sleep. You don't sleep all year round, hoping that there is going to be one magic bullet, something that will.
They're gone are those days where manna was falling down from heaven. If you even go to the scriptures, we're not talking Bible here, so let me not go there and start explaining to us the aspect of manna and what it meant and everything.
Man of God will declare a thing and it shall happen.
Yes, the Bible talks about honoring the word of the prophet. But now, what is the prophet prophesying? The Bible says that I will bless the work. Is works of the hand of your hands. He's not blessing your hands. He's blessing the work that the hands are performing. So God is not Babalao. He needs access to bless you. And the access that is going to bless you is through your work. Start working. So let him. The reason why you feel like you're not being blessed is that God is like, okay, I really want to give you this money, but where do you want me to show? I can put on a pillow. Do something so I can have a channel to bless you with it. So you have to get to work. You don't sit and your comfort zone expecting that it will just come and meet you. Like, no, everybody has to get to work. You have to put your hands to work, put your mind to work, put your energy to work.
Okay.
Everything you have.
This one says, good evening, Mr. Liu and the panelists. Are really good topic. One main key to success is education. By this I mean always learning from everything and everyone. One example is reading books, and another way is to delay gratification and be persistent in what you do and believe in yourself. The successful person is the abnormal one who does what others don't and solve a societal problem. Aso is writing from Boya, delay gratification here.
Yes, that's very important, Mr. Leo. You cannot eat your cake and have it.
Okay.
You can't eat your cake and have it. There must be times when you can't be planting and you are eating at that same time. You only eat during your harvest. And even during the harvest, you keep seeds for the next season. That is what happens in real life. If you must be able to keep going, there must be things that you must withhold yourself from consuming today, because you know that putting this seed on the ground is going to germinate and give you more for you to be able to consume tomorrow. If you can't hold yourself, you can't discipline yourself to undergo that process of letting your seed germinate and grow and bear fruit so that you can be able to harvest more, you can't be able to celebrate tomorrow. You go back to school, you remember those your friends who could not carry their school fees and go and pay. They give them their school fees, and instead of going to the bursar's office to pay, they go to the beer parlors. They throw parties with their friends and they form as if they are very rich, of which in real life that money wasn't destined for that purpose. You divert the purpose. Why? Because you cannot withhold yourself of certain, certain enjoyments. Let me put it that way. That there is a time, everything has its time, and if you misplace priorities, they will always meet you ahead. It's either you sacrifice now and enjoy later, or enjoy now and you face the sacrifice later. There's no time in life where you only enjoy and enjoy and enjoy. No, that's why life is in seasons. If you and all the seasons have a way it has to contribute to your life. The sun cannot be shining and the rain is falling at the same time. The sun cannot shine all season, rain cannot fall all season. There's time for rain and there's time for sun, because in contribution of these two to the atmosphere, there will be time that their fruits or their seeds that grow only in the dry season and their seeds that grow only in the rainy season. And that's same as the human cycle. There's a moment where in marketing we have the introduction of a product in the market. You have the growth, you have the maturity, and sometimes the product starts falling and then you have to do it. That's how life is. The activities that you carry, at the level of introduction of that product in the market are not the same activities that you carry when the product is growing. That's same in your life. You must know what you are doing at a particular stage. You mustn't be, how can I put it? Look at somebody like Ronaldinho, a very wonderful world footballer that everybody knew him. But what limited the expand of his career was that he loved enjoying his life so much. Sometimes he became so stubborn and he did not go for practice. John C. Maxwell will tell you that talent is not enough. You need to sharpen it. And that process of sharpening it, there are certain things that you think that you deserve, but you intentionally forgo yourself from enjoying those things, because you know that if you enjoy these things, they will not permit you to develop yourself and deliver at your peak when need be.
Okay. A man with a vision is a mad man until the vision comes to pass.
Yes.
Ubon King. For a man to succeed, he must understand sacrifice of the current pleasures and distractions. That is what we just talked about. The youth of today must stay away from unhealthy competition. Imagine the competition for iPhone 13. A youth with vision doesn't pay attention to activities that do not accelerate them towards their goals. Again, you must pay attention to the people around you. Your circle will determine how far you can go. Stay away from the wrong people and see how far you can go in life. Be around those who challenge and inspire you to become better. Accept greetings from the Tex Global family in Equatorial Guinea.
Wow.
We are ready for tomorrow. I miss you all in the study and awesome viewers. Yes, Mr. Buji. Yes. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Stephen Dempsey, a student of GBHS Tico and a football player of Lesser Football Academy. My dream is to play football, so in order for me to succeed, I don't drink alcohol, I don't go to nightclubs, etc. I run from Tico to Ombe every day, and I also run around Tico Airport every Sunday, and I train with my club from Monday to Friday, and also do personal training on Sunday after church. Also, I write clubs and players on social. Okay, you read clubs and players on social media. Does that mean I will succeed in my dreams? I'm asking the beautiful lady in black because I'm inspired by the lady in black watching from Tico. Yes, certainly you are going to succeed.
Consistency.
Yes. Good evening to everyone in the studio. I'm Kum Peter in Limbe. Leo, God bless you all for advising all young Cameroonians. Thank you, Peter, my mbombo. Good evening, Mr. Leo. To succeed, one must set definite objectives with defined deadlines. Tell yourself that in 1 or 2 years' time, you will be a degree holder or a millionaire. This requires the right attitude, avoid conformity, stay away from fear of the unknown, keep the right company, and above all, use your mind to its full capacity. Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, states that what the mind can think and believe it can achieve. We fail sometimes because we do not think but copying. For Ernest, writing from Dubai. Good evening to you. This one reads, good evening, Mr. Leo. This is my first time on the program. There is a saying that says, God help those who help themselves. They are safe. Okay. Brandon is writing from Muyuka, Miss L. We are talking about what we need to stay away from. One thing that we need to stay away from is distraction. Many persons actually cannot identify what is distraction to their vision in life.
Yes, we have to start by identifying our distractions. Our distractions, I had said this one time here, distractions are not some very heavy things, very small things. And I love the way they come. They come in a way that it's difficult for you to pinpoint that that's a distraction. See, you do know this thing in your life that someone will tell you that you cannot do it, that you're like, no, wish, I can do it, I can do it, that is a lie. That's a distraction. There's some things that you feel, there are just some small, minute things that you feel like it's a normal thing to just stay glued to the TV. It's a normal thing to buy 60 dresses in 1 week. It's a normal thing to want to keep eating fancy restaurants so you cannot afford. Those are small, they are just minute things, small things, these distractions. I want you to be able to set yourself and identify your distraction. And the truth is that, sir, they know their distraction. People know their distraction. They know what is distracting them. I always use myself as an example. I said I don't want to lie. If my siblings were to be here, they'll say the same thing. I had known from the time when I was in school, right in secondary school, that the greatest thing that would distract me in this life was Disney Channel. Hey, I would watch Disney Channel. Like, my mom will pass, she's talking. You know that this type of children that watch the TV and you're calling their names and they forget themselves on the TV. And sometimes she asked me that, why are they laughing? Because one time she sat down to hear what exactly was the comedy that was making the people laugh. I thought I just liked the way they were laughing. Sometimes I'm reading my book is on my lap and I'm watching the TV. When I discovered that this one was going to kill me, I entered the university. Then I was in my own house. Now I knew that, okay, my parents are not there. I vowed, I said, I would deliver myself by myself for myself, away from this stuff. And to be able to stay away from Disney Channel, I banned myself from TV completely. I have I have one of my neighbors when I was living in the university that I dashed him my TV. I told him, come and carry. I don't want it. People should carry the TV. It was a self-discipline. I'm telling you that till today. Everybody that's close to me, they know that I cannot sit by the TV like this for up to how many minutes. If it's nothing educative, as I sit like this, the next thing is like, I want to go, and I'll tell you, I please, I really don't know what I should be watching here. These are little things. The little thing that is making you to leave your pot on the fire and food gets burnt because you're watching telenovela, that's the distraction. As small as Big Brother Africa, that's your distraction. As small as the fact that you refuse to step out the house because you're not wearing a nice dress is a distraction. It's the truth. Small things. I know people will say, no, I really cannot go, I don't have what to wear, so the one you have in your bag is not clothes. There's a lot. I've seen people miss out on opportunities because of little things that they see hold as I don't know, they hold so dear that are things that don't have any direct impact on their lives. Those are little distractions. We have to be able to stay out of it, and trust me, nobody can heal you from your distraction. Staying away from distraction is a choice. Success itself is a choice. You have to choose to discipline yourself. Yours could be just the fact that you cannot really stay away from parties. There are people who cannot stay away from parties. No matter what, they don't stay away from parties. There are people who cannot stay away from football. I have a friend of mine that today I still remind him of this thing. When we're writing the GC, I think one team was playing like that. We were preparing for paper 2 economics. People were revising. That guy told me that he's not entering. I said, why? He said he wants to go and watch football. I said, Papa, go. He went and sat and watched his football. And they came and wrote. Thank God that God helped him. And he passed. But I told him that, to me, if you had revised before entering the hall, I know you could have done better. Because economics is your thing. There are little things that you waste your time watching people who have made their money. These are the programs you have to watch, what we are talking about today. Because we are helping you to get to the point where I think it was Mr. Paul or Mr. Buji said something. One of them said something like this, that this program you're watching on TV, is it educating you? Yes. The other ones you're watching, have you done something that can make you can place you at the point where people also watch you and give you money? Have you also placed yourself at that point? We have to go to the level where we can be able to identify our distractions. Our distractions can be our phones. You are everywhere with your phone, and your phone is not giving you money. I tell people I stay by my phone because normally the type of work we do, your phone has to be by you because sometimes you get contacts and all of that. But you have to identify your distraction. Make up your mind that today you want to search yourself. Identify that one thing that you know that if I just make as if I want to hinder you from having access to, you will go mad. Mm-hmm. And you know that thing has no direct impact to your life. That's a distraction.
Okay. Hello, my Media Prime. My name is Solomon Takang Emmanuel. I'm from Yaoundé. We must make our character smell like perfume because it is character that will attract destiny, help us to a man who is dreaming to be successful in life, and also avoid pride because God resists the proud and gives grace to the humble, and he should make use of every opportunity that comes in his way in life. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Liu, to you. Okay, Mr. Paul and Miss L, I must say I'm encouraged by this topic. I pray God gives you more wisdom to do this more often.
Amen.
This is Mr. Marketing Manager, Tex Global, Pomenda. Okay, good evening to you. Good evening, Mr. Good evening. We can be successful if we let go of women, bad energy friends, excessive alcohol, and letting go of envy and pride. I think success begins with a positive mind and a willingness to go above the present situation you find yourself in. Daddy Yele Luis, writing from Bonaberry. Good evening to everyone in the studio. I wish to say, if you want to be successful in life, is you need to know where you are coming from and going to, and it's well you to be successful in life. I'm Clovis, writing from Yaoundé, not too clear. Your message. Good evening, sir. If you want to succeed, you should also limit the number of friends and avoid useless discussions, and discipline too. Dylan is writing from Limbe. Good evening to you, Dylan. Good evening, sir Leo and my bigs in the house. Nice program again. I'm a bit worried if your fiance or wife is not contributing to you achieving your purpose. What can you do? Divorce your wife? And BBK, writing from Kribi. BBK, hi, Prime R. It's Artus from Limbe. Please tell her she is smart. We need such people in our youth war. Her husband will be lucky. God bless. Okay. She got a message.
Will you marry me, please?
Good evening, sir. I'm Abdul Karim in Bonaberry. I like your program. I think to be successful, you need to mind the kind of people you associate with. Show me your friend. I will tell you who you are. Okay. To be successful, stop blaming others for your failures. Note when you are pointing someone with one finger, 3 others are pointing back at you. Be wise. Good evening to you all in the studio. Love it. It's writing from Boya. Good evening, sir. I'm enjoying your program from Bomaka. I am Molanje. You must let go your comfort zone and launch into the deep. That is, you should take risk. Success is all about hard work and Be focused, taking any challenge as an opportunity and a golden platter, opportunity on a golden platter to get successful. Kill fear, for fear is deceptive. Okay, Mr. Neba is talking about risk, but also we need to kill fear and stop always procrastinating, hoping that there is going to be a golden opportunity for you to head out.
I think fear is one of the things that stops us from starting to fly. And procrastinating and empty dreaming is something that I used to do sometimes when I was still growing up. I used to just sit and imagine, why can some thief not steal some money from a bank? You know, why running and passing around my quarter while the police is chasing them? They throw some of the money in the bush where I'm just there hiding and playing with my friends, and let me pick some of the money. You know, just some kind of crazy dreams that we dream while we are growing up. But truth be told, these are mere dreams, and it can't, or it rarely happens in reality. Yes, fear does two things. Fear is either a signal that guides you in order for you to be able to be cautioned to take a particular, a particular way, or is something that keeps you from moving at all. You must be able to identify it and know how you move. Truth be told, we all have fear in us. We all do. And there's some people who have normal fears. Maybe somebody doesn't want to see animals, somebody cannot stand on the roof and look down. But where we want to focus here on the fear that stops you from being able to take a particular action, or not taking a particular action that will lead you to a particular position or will permit you to achieve something. The thing is that we don't know, we don't differentiate thinking from worrying. That we worry a lot, and worry is what amplifies fear. But if we can always look at the situation where we find ourselves and we try to think our way through, I think that's going to limit fear. And fear also comes into play so much when we lack knowledge. You understand? When you are getting into a place where you are not so knowledgeable about, your fear is so amplified. Why? Because you don't have that inner drive.
You're afraid to fail.
Yeah. You're afraid to fail. Why? Because you don't have that inner drive that can give you that self-confidence to hit your feet on the field and say, hey. It's just like, okay, if I get into football now and I'm about to face Lionel Messi, I have little experience, little information, I don't have skills in football. The fear itself has beaten me, even if the guy cannot dribble me.
You never enter the field.
I'll not enter the field. As I was it was like in the 90s. I think I was very small. We saw Maradona, juggle the ball in the middle of the field, and Cameroonians were like they were. It was until I think it was Fede or somebody who took the ball and then dribbled some, and the guys were like, hey, so we could actually dribble these people. You understand? At the end of the day, Cameroon won the match. So at one point in time, fear is when you don't have knowledge, or maybe you have never taken that part before. But I don't think fear should stop you, because whether you fear or you don't fear, the time is still going. What is going to happen is going to happen. But we should be cautioned by fear and always think and make sure that the steps we are taking should be informed by the information that guides us taking that particular path. Because if you are always jumping in the dark, maybe if you jump today and you don't break a leg, it's okay. You jump tomorrow, you don't break a leg, it's okay. But mind you not always jump in the dark and you land on your both feet.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. The equation of success is equal to determination minus fear. Result. Gerard is writing from the United Arab Emirates. To successful, you must conquer fear. Okay. Gerard, thank you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. And all of you in the studio, thanks for bringing up such programs. According to Bill Gates, success comes as a result of three things: determination, interest, intense hard work, and using the ideas of others, since many heads think better than one. Godi Ebong is writing from Yaoundé. Hi, Mr. Leo. Good evening. Sir, please include me in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Joanna writing from Malabo in Equatorial Guinea. Good evening to you, Joanna. Don't know what group you're talking about. There are many of them. Hi, I'm Esemu Michael Esau from Kumba. I'm very grateful for this your show. It's so educative. My point is about complaints, thoughts about the little stress and forget about the greater opportunities due to complaints. And also it makes us to remain in our comfort zone, which hinders progress. That is complaints. We talked about that already. Get to work and stop complaining every day and accusing almost everybody. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and I'm Gum Felix from Mutengene. I'm encouraged by the words of Mr. Paul and Miss L. I think to be successful, you need to be determined and examine your life. I quote the words of Socrates, and on examine life is not worth living. Okay?
That's philosophy.
Yes, if you cannot examine your life by living. Good evening, sir. I just believe success depends on planning from Bumaka Boya. Good evening, Mr. Leo and the panelists. I'm following the program and learning a lot. I'm Oliver, writing from Douala. Good evening to you. I'm Jim from Boya. I'm a student and I want to get into politics in future and hopefully run for president one day. But Cameroon politics scares me. So what should I do to keep my dream on track? Please, you just have to dream. You have to believe and you have to work towards becoming the president of the republic. That's all. There are no two ways out. I'm sure it's very difficult to becoming the president of the United States of America, no? Obama dreamt about it. Even in that difficult continent and nation, he became the president. So you could just be one of Cameroon's presidents.
He's already complaining when he has not started.
So just believe in what you're dreaming about. Miss L, we need to get out of this fixed mindset. It must be
status quo.
Or, yeah.
You have to break out of the status quo. The fact that people are doing it does not make you right. The fact that it's like this does not mean it should be like this. So it depends on you. They used to say life is not a bed of roses. That's what we grew up knowing. That's the word that's moving all around, that life is not a bed of roses. But what I'm telling you now, nobody has used it anywhere. This is my own. I said one time, when we're growing up, they told us that life is not a bed of roses. And I discovered that the roses in the world will not even be enough for all of us who are in the world. And roses have thorns. So I decided to choose my own flower. I always say this. I started saying this thing since from secondary school. I said I've chosen my flower. It was after we studied a particular poem in literature called Daffodils. So I got to study about the flower daffodils. It grows in a particular part of the world. It's difficult to see and it's beautiful. That's one of the most beautiful plants on earth. And then I said that since they say life is not a bed of roses, I don't want roses. My own life is a bed of daffodils. I've chosen my own path. It will be a path where it's rare to see, but it will emerge beautiful. The fact that people are saying it's like this does not make it right. You have the right to break out of it. Because they said that you must go like this. It's like how when we're coming here, I discovered Douala has so many roads. If I even wrote in Douala leads to somewhere, you just bend anywhere and you're going to where you're going to. But it's that you have to know where you're going to. Even when you're bending, taking all these bends, you should know where you're going to. The fact that they say to come here, you must leave from Rond-Point and then all the roads, let me not give a description. Yes, all the roads that you take to come here does not mean that if I am in which other place in Makepe or I will not leave from Makepe and get to Fengojong. All roads will lead there. The thing is that you have to be able to step out of it. You cannot build on people's foundation when the foundation is faulty. If you are born on this particular foundation and you discover that the foundation is faulty, my dear, shift. Because once the foundation is faulty, there is nothing you can do. Do you want to? The building must collapse one day because it is the foundation that is keeping the house and the pillars. So you make up your mind to start a new foundation. And trust me, when you start a new foundation, people will liberate from it. New people will join you and they will be with you and they'll be those pillars. We have to break out of that fixed mindset. That it's like it's a stagnant mindset. It's not changing. It's just static. We have to be flexible.
As it was in the beginning is now.
Yes, as it was in the beginning and now forever. No. It's not like that. It doesn't work that way. Imagine that if everybody had to follow the same way. Now, we used to say this. Truth be told, sir, the way companies were operated in the past is not the way companies are operating now. Even consumers now know their rights. So you must be innovative. You cannot say because it was like this. The reason why companies keep growing and they have sustainability, it's because when the new generation is coming up, they do market research. Why do they keep talking about market research? Because in economics, they're teaching us that there is a change in consumer taste and fashion. It keeps changing. And that's how it is. I made mention earlier that the way you met life today is not the way you see life tomorrow. As we're talking now like this, you might get up tomorrow different. Why do people stay alive today and die the following morning? You have to keep thinking out of the box. Step out of the mediocre mindset. Step out from the fact that it has to be like this. Bring your own rules. Break the ones that are there if they have not proven results. If they have not given results, break those rules. And put your new set of rules. Come up with your new set of rules. All these theories and everything we made in physics and everything, these are things that people tested in the past. And they saw it, that it was real. And I would tell you the truth. Before I met Mr. Teke, I knew that there was nothing like you can predict success. I just know that nobody knows tomorrow. No, that's how they tell us everything, that nobody knows tomorrow. And people have grown, they have been changing these words. Now, one pastor said something. He said that, why do you say nobody knows tomorrow? This is on text in the Christian context. He said, we know tomorrow. He said, should I prove to you? Say, God lives in the inside of you, and God knows tomorrow, and He's in the inside of you. How come you don't know tomorrow? You know tomorrow, so you're not conscious of tomorrow. You're not asking yourself within what will happen tomorrow. Have you asked yourself from within that you not know about tomorrow? So you can be able to predict your success. You can just be able to fashion your destiny with your thoughts, because you are a product of your predominant thoughts. It's not a product of what people have said.
Okay.
You break out from it.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm so blessed with this program. Please include me to the WhatsApp group. It's Oben, writing from Kumba. I don't know what WhatsApp group you're talking about. Good evening, Mr. Leo. If you really desire success, you must work hard for it. Success does not fall on people's laps. It is not obtained on a platter of gold. You have to work your way through it. Pastor Mofo Kingsley, writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I love your program. Thanks for blessing the world. May God bless you and your team. Constance is writing from Mutengene. Good evening, Mr. Kum. Please tell Miss L that I am proud of who she has become, and more grace to your ever illuminating programs. I am your steady follower since from High TV in Boya. Congratulations to you all. Franklin Chair is writing from Limbe. Thank you very much. Good evening, sir. I'm Seraphine from Tico. How can you know you are come in life? Can you rewrite that? Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm enjoying your program quite a lot, and I think what Mr. Teke is saying is correct. It's Precious, writing from Kumba. And I also think what Miss L is saying is quite interesting. She is really telling the truth. Good evening to you all in the studio. I'm a student. I really want to learn more. Yes, keep learning. But also we need, you want to be successful, you must make up your mind that I want to be a success. I want to be a voice. This is not something for a particular breed. It's not something for a particular tribe. It's not something for the rich. It's not something for the Christians. I want to succeed. You must make up your mind to want to succeed. Mr. Neba.
Yes, Mr. Leo. I think I said that today in the church where we were speaking, and Miss L was laughing. I said something that if they were to look at where I was born and where I was going, I shouldn't have a place on TV speaking.
But Christ was born in the manger.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because if I was to look at it this way, okay, I'm that guy that was at 7 and was yet to go to class 1 in primary school. If I stayed there and focused there, stop laughing, Miss L. If I stayed there and focused there, I would have not been where I am today. But instead, I was looking like, okay, since I'm this guy that was 7 and did not go to school, and the family, you know, I usually say I come from this family where they had to hold family meetings to raise school fees, to pay my fee. And it's same with most Cameroonians, most Africans who are watching me right now. Most of us were educated through family meetings. It's not that those that month end Papa gives a huge check and then you go pay the fee. You know, I looked at it, okay, if these people could contribute so much to give me this much, What can I do to be able to be outstanding? How can I do to be able to, end this lineage of poverty in my family, in my generation, so that if others are coming, they can even at least have a name that they can mention, that they can be recognized by. Most of us, if they ask us the name of our fathers, our grandfathers, we will not know. Not to talk of our great grandfathers. Why? Because we just tiptoe through life. We are not hungry enough. We don't really want to be there. Success is something that can be predicted, and it comes from a decision, and the decision doesn't stay there. You don't dream and end there. You dream and start equipping yourself. Ask the question, what should I do to be there? And if you ask that question sincerely, the picture will be very clear in front of you, and you must engage in taking those actions that are going to permit you to be there. And you're not going to take it one day and you want to succeed. Usually I would say that it doesn't happen overnight. If it happens overnight, it is mushroom. By evening, it's going to get rotten. It has to take time. It has to go with a lot of sacrifices. You need to go an extra mile where everybody stops. You need to keep taking another step, so much so that you can really be outstanding and create something new, so that you can inspire the next generation. That's what we are looking at here. We have so many people who are crowded at the start of the line, but you see that usually at the end of the line, people are arriving one after the other. Why? Because in the course of the day, in the course of the race, people made efforts. Some people stopped, some people kept going, some people increased their speed, some people fainted. Are you the one that is going to faint? No, I believe in you. I believe that you can stay there on that race, and you'll be the one that is going to hold that flag at the end of the day. And of course, others will come looking up to you. Just like today, we are looking up to Samuel Etofis, we are looking up to the Francis Ngannous, because they made an extra effort and achieved extraordinary results. Somebody like you who is watching us today, and you think that you can achieve the results in whatever thing you are doing, it is very possible. Why? Because I'm speaking here today like that small boy from that small village in Bafut who was almost old without going to school, and today I have the opportunity to be speaking here because I made just little efforts. I've not made much efforts, and if you make much efforts, you can do better.
Okay, just found out an important program from your team, especially the lady in your midst. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm enjoying your program. I'm Ronaldo, writing from Boya. Okay, Cristiano. Good evening, Mr. Leo. It's clear from Mutengene, fear comes when you lack purpose and divine direction, because a man of purpose and direction fears nothing and cannot be distracted. Greetings, Mr. Leo and co. We should let go 33 Expo and stop following those our old parents in Cameroon who are always bringing beer, 1,000 francs to confuse us during elections. It's innocent. Fokem, writing from Limbe. Hello, good evening. Mr. Liu, I'm called Celia, located in Yaoundé. This is one of my favorite programs on Prime R. Keep it up. God bless you. Thank you very much. This one says, your program is impactful. I'm still to be bathed without for the end. To be successful, one must to do what is necessary, not what is convenient. Another way to say, get out of your comfort zone. Until honor, as usual, I hear you. Nkwele is writing from Limbe. Good evening to everyone. I'm Ekome Emmanuel, writing from Kumba. To be successful, I think you have to know your dreams. Then you will see your vision manifesting. Thank you. Good evening, sir. I'm really enjoying the program. Thanks for all what you guys are giving to the young Cameroonians. Nung Emmanuel, writing from Limbe. Good evening to everyone in the studio. I'm Basil in Yaoundé. The lady in black have just voiced my experience about watching TV. I almost sold my TV in March 2020, but God held my step backward, and on that Friday, the Tex Global team was on air. That was my first time watching the program. I learned a lot from them, became an investor, and I am still learning much more from them. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Priscilla from Limbe. What if your distraction is your partner? He stops you from doing anything or making a move in life. All he wants is to sit back at home and take care of the house. Whereas you really wanted to do something for yourself. You just have to talk it out with the partner. Miss L, I want us to get back to something we talked about earlier on, getting out of stereotype. We need to walk out of this, where almost every successful person is likened to somebody who is in Nyongo. That is something that is also keeping most of us not wanting to venture out because of the fear of the stigma that the society will look us as belonging to one dirty or nasty club. But if you want to be successful, you must dare and be ready to receive any other thing. And we said earlier on that you must not be liked by everybody.
Why are you first of all suspecting people in the first place? It means you have time that you're not using. Because before you want to suspect somebody, you've analyzed the person. And analyzing somebody means you have to take time and sit. And then you're thinking about the person, but how did that person get here? Was that person not selling? You're wasting your thoughts and your time thinking about somebody. Then you even, I love the way property does it. You analyze the person's life, then you give the conclusion. And then after you conclude, you start spreading the news. Say, this man, Nyongo, and all the like. See, but we're not saying that there are not people out there who are actually involved in sex like that. We're not saying that. We're not refusing that fact. But my worry is the person who is analyzing people and is not ready to work. It's possible to make clean money. It's possible to be successful. Why standing out, like what was saying? Not being stereotyped to the aspect of if you're young, you have money, you're a scammer. If you're old, you have money, you're a ritualist. See, there is something. The plan is, Mr. Teke wrote something on his status. I don't know if I should say this on air, but I screenshotted that thing and I kept it. See, it's okay. Let them call us ritualists. Let them call you. But he said it. He gave some scriptural backings. Righteousness, ritualist. Yes, it's our right standing that gives us the money that we have. Your right standing mentally is what gives you the money. It's like how you get to the understanding of yourself so much so that you become unpredictable. You just do things the way when people are not expecting. When they expect, they are thinking that you will go left, you're instead going right. Why? Because you have a focus.
You play like a wind.
Yes, you just operate. They cannot catch you. You cannot catch the wind. The wind, you don't tell the wind where to blow. But when it's blowing a direction, you know. Because it gives a signal that this is the direction I'm blowing. That's how we're supposed to be. Let's not be stereotyped. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit your mind from thinking. Like the person who wrote and said that he's thinking to become a president tomorrow. Don't limit your mind from thinking. Allow yourself to grow, to get out of the normal way that people think. See, you can be able to build your life the way you want it, and people will respond to it.
Okay.
Even the universe will begin to respond to it.
Okay.
If you know what to do.
Good evening, Mr. Liu. Thanks for the interesting program. This is the best program I ever watched. I pray that God bless you guys in the studio. Thank you very, very much, and I say amen to that. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Very educative program you have there. To be successful in life, you should first of all love whatever you are doing or planning to do and work hard for it. Emma Mojoko, writing from Opa Bokova. Good evening to you, Emma Mojoko. I don't know if the one I know. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's been a pleasure watching you on my media TV. The lady in the house is so motivational. I just enjoy listening to her, especially at this point in my life. Please kindly hook me up with her. She's so amazing. She keeps making my evening. You all are wonderful. Mr. P, writing. There are 2 numbers under the screen. Can you just contact her using the numbers? Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Good evening, Mr. Liu. A wonderful evening to Miss L and Mr. Paul. You cannot pretend you want to succeed. At the same time, you want to keep everything you already have. It's like wanting to build a house and at the same time maintaining the trees and flowers on that same piece of land. There is a sacrifice in success. You must sacrifice some of your friends. your eating and drinking habits, your leisure, etc., you must sacrifice something to succeed. Yes, that's it. Good evening, bro, Leo, and everyone in the studio. Success begins from within us and not without. If you think success and engage in corresponding action towards that thought, then you are going to succeed in life. As a man thinketh, so is he. I'm writing from Limbe. It's Pastor Kum. Elvis, good evening to you. Elvis, extend greetings to your wife and the family. We want to also, we are going to be ending here now, but you want to succeed, you should start studying. You have to learn. You have to look at successful persons and also read about their lives.
Yes, Mr. Leo. You can't ignore continuous learning because the world itself doesn't stop. It evolves on a daily basis. I think we have said this time without number. The moment you stop learning, that's the moment you start dying. Things are changing on a daily basis. Imagine that, okay, we are living in an Android generation, as we call it, and you did not learn how to use this Android phone. Just imagine the things you'll be losing. You'll not be able to use WhatsApp, you'll not be able to use Facebook, and all the other wonderful opportunities that the internet provides. Continuous learning is a secret to continuous relevance. I'll put it again. Continuous learning is the secret to continuous relevance. If you must stay valuable, you must keep acquiring knowledge, because knowledge is what is going to keep you going when things are tough. I think that's a quote from Mr. Teke.
Yeah.
When things get tough, what is going to
the information you have is what keeps you going.
When things get tough, the information you have is what keeps you going. That's what Mr. Teke says. How do you get information? By continuous learning. You know, most times I'm bitter with myself these days. Why? Because I think of the days that I had so much time in my hand I wasn't doing anything with. And right now, my schedule is becoming so busy and I don't have time to continuous learning. That's why when we are moving in the car, what do? I simply play an audio and a video and we are listening to it. Why? Because I want to keep on upgrading my mind. Because for me to be able to sit here and continue talking, for me to be able to keep out dishing out knowledge, I need to possess knowledge that people don't have in order to exchange that knowledge for money. For you to be able to provide a service to somebody, that person, it shouldn't be a service that person can provide. For you to be able to provide a good to somebody, it must be something that person cannot provide himself. And what will permit you to be able to keep on doing that is continuous learning. Every company knows the power of research and development. Why? Because fashion changes, taste changes, you know, climates change, seasons change, and for you to be able to keep to date with what people are going to continue demanding, you need to keep learning and updating your mind. If not, you are going to be kicked out of the market by those who are doing so.
Miss L, I would like you to react to this message. There are so many of them, but I will read this one as last and then we wrap. Good evening, great minds in the studio. It's quite an interesting program. More grace to you guys. Mr. Liu, there is no secret to success, but there is a process. Many youths are looking for secrets to success instead of the process. To be successful, we just have to be willing to pay the price, because everything is achievable in life if and only if we are willing to pay the price, which is what many youths are running away from. Cyril is writing from Bonamu Sadi next door. Yeah.
Every finished product goes through a process, and it starts from the raw material being converted.
Okay.
And trust me, the process is never sweet, but it's always interesting. I used to ask people that, how do you live when your life does not have drama? You need some people who can abuse you. So when they tell that your legs are bent, you start looking at the leg like, okay, so my legs are bent, I didn't know. You need some people to even compliment you. Your life needs drama, and that's the process we're talking about. Everybody is supposed to be ready to go through the process, because that is what gives birth to the finished product. We cannot skip level in this life. You cannot rush it. You cannot rush it, but there can be some acceleration, and acceleration comes from a place of knowledge. And that's why I always tell people that mentors are good. If Mr. Teke is watching me right now, I know that I cannot suffer so much because he has suffered part of my suffering. Yes, that's one of the ways. One of the things that we have to pay the price for is to answer yes, sir, to somebody. Service is one of the price we pay. It's one of the process that people are running away from. Everybody wants to become a boss in Cameroon. You want to be called the CEO. and the leader. You want people to be carrying your back and worshiping you and praising you and all of that, but you are not willing to answer yes sir to another person. I think that in success, this price service is paramount. Until you are willing to serve, you're not ready to succeed. Because it's in service that all these things we're talking about, you begin to master. You learn all of these things in service. You get knowledge and information in service. You learn how to build principles in service. I know there are things I did not know until when I met my boss. I started learning those things from him. And as we're going every day, we're meeting new people, you're learning from them. That is one thing we have to know. Cameroonian youths, don't skip the process. Everybody must go through the process. And trust me, like I said, the process will never be sweet, but it will be interesting. It has to be very interesting. What makes it interesting is when there is climax, when there is down moment, when there is good, there is normal. That's what makes the storyline interesting. Everybody builds their storyline, and the process is what is the story. If you don't have a story to tell tomorrow, you have no success to tell people. Success is built from a storyline. You give people a storyline. This is what happened. So it was like this, it was like this. Everybody has a story to tell. That's what makes the success interesting. That's what we want to hear. How did you succeed? You hear somebody, when I was in Form 2, they are telling you how they succeeded in that story they are telling you. And it's the process that everybody, the price you have to pay is that process we're talking about.
Okay, Miss L, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leo, and thank you to everybody. And I will tell us that I made my choice some years back, and my choice is speaking for me. He has been talking for me. He has been everything. This is the choice. I told Mr. Paul that this part we have taken, I told him today that it's not easy. I've not rested since yesterday. But trust me, the choice is worth it. Okay. And I want you to also make your choice wherever you are to succeed and avoid those things that are going to bring you down.
Mr. Paul, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leo. Thank you to the various televiewers who contributed, especially those from the VIP winners community. It's been a wonderful evening. One last advice I want to leave you with is that you should avoid what I call the Adam mindset. The Adam mindset is the mindset where God asks that, Adam, did you eat the fruit that I forbid you not to eat? Instead of him accepting and apologizing, he blamed God and blamed the wife. No, he didn't say no. He just said, the wife you gave me gave the fruit. So stop blaming and complaining. Always be ready to accept and face the reality, and that's how you're going to overcome and succeed.
Yes, Mr. Leo. I want to say thank you to somebody. I actually met somebody. I have never ever done my hair in Douala, but I met somebody, one lady around. It's in Nyama Online. They call it somewhere Nyama Online. I don't really know the place so well. I told her that I was going to mention it on TV. Her place is called Arise and Shine, a very simple place. I had to go there because I was saying I don't want to go to where people will know me so much. But when I got there, just a small place, that lady, she's training over 14 young girls. And she said she has been graduating a lot of them, teaching them how to do hair and all of that. And I said I was going to mention it because it's actually something that everybody there watches this program. So when I got to the door, I was shocked that everybody there knew me, and I was even embarrassed. So I want to say kudos to her, and also kudos to Barrister Moki and wife. They have been watching us, following us, and they insisted and invited me to come to their house, and they are now big investors in Tex Global. I had to visit them right in Limbe. So I want to give a big shout out to Barrister Moki and his wife in Limbe, and to Madame Emilienne, Arise and Shine hairdressing salon at Nyama Online somewhere. I don't know how to call the place so well. Thank you all so much, and thank you to everybody that's been following us. We are here because you are actually always listening to us.
Thank you, Miss L. Did you not thank me too?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Leo, for being so awesome. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Teke. Mr. Teke is not even here. Mr. Teke, we miss you, sir. Don't come back home.
Okay, we want to thank you all who took time off to watch the program, and the production team for what they have been able to do the whole week. We also want to say we are grateful for you guys out there who are always watching the program. Eli, thank you. Desmond, thank you. Tabi, Tambe Bryant, supervising the work we do out there, thank you. We just say stay blessed. Bye-bye.